The Basilica of Saint Nicholas in Bari, Italy is one of the most important places in Christianity because it brings together Catholic and Orthodox pilgrims. Saint Nicholas has long been considered a bridge between East and West. After his relics were brought from Myra in 1087, Bari became famous throughout Europe. And even today, pilgrims from every nation arrive daily to venerate the saint of interreligious dialogue. In fact, after the Blessed Virgin Mary, Saint Nicholas is the saint who has received the most widespread devotion in the history of the Church.
Questa è una cosa che nei secoli la Basilica di San Nicola ha sempre prodotto.
This is something the Basilica of Saint Nicholas has always generated through the centuries. Continuous pilgrimages of brothers from every confession who came here to pray at the tomb of Saint Nicholas.
Sempre più un modo per incontrarsi anche nella preghiera, una preghiera fatta insieme.
And over the years, this has gradually become more and more a way of meeting one another in prayer, praying together. A beautiful example of this increasingly close encounter is also visible architecturally in what happens inside the Basilica, because immediately after the Second Vatican Council, the Dominican Fathers decided, so as to encourage the prayer of our Orthodox brothers inside the Basilica itself, to build a small Orthodox chapel. It's the one you see as you enter on the left, in the left corner. It was the place where the Orthodox brothers celebrated the Divine Liturgy within the Basilica.
In the Basilica of Saint Nicholas, what's striking is that the Orthodox Divine Liturgy and the Catholic Mass are celebrated at the same time.
Here you see the extraordinary nature of this place and of the ecumenical journey that has been made, an ecumenism of prayer, of fraternal encounter. Gradually, there was no longer any need for that side chapel, because our Orthodox brothers began to celebrate the Divine Liturgy at the altar of Saint Nicholas, both down in the crypt and up in the Basilica. And it is the very same altar where Catholics celebrate the Eucharist. This is a truly beautiful sign, something that does not happen in every Christian church.
This special feature of Saint Nicholas, something that also emerges from official sources, remains rather mysterious. It's not easy to understand the exact reason why a saint, who is certainly popular and deeply linked to charity, has managed to unite in such a special way so many people in devotion.
Let's say that among the Orthodox and Catholics, he is certainly the most venerated saint after the Virgin Mary, so the Basilica is truly a place of particular importance. It is certainly a meeting point.
That is why Bari can be called a capital of unity, as Pope Francis described it, a meeting point where Catholic and Orthodox communities gather in prayer and fraternity around Saint Nicholas.
D'altronde, in modo particolare la Chiesa russa e la Chiesa greca, ma anche la Chiesa georgiana.
Moreover, the Russian and Greek churches in particular, but also the Georgian and Romanian churches, and others I wouldn't want to leave out, are especially attentive to this devotion. And that is one of the unique features here. You may find something similar in other Italian cities, but in Bari, you feel it strongly because there are stable communities living here. Orthodox communities of Russian, Romanian, Georgian, and Greek background, who come to celebrate regularly inside the Basilica, not as pilgrims arriving from elsewhere, but as residents who celebrate and live their liturgy and their devotion to Saint Nicholas.
Che celebrano e vivono la loro liturgia e la loro devozione a San Nicola.
From this lived ecumenism came the Saint Nicholas Ecumenical Institute, founded by Bari's then Archbishop Enrico Nicodemo, with the Apulian Bishops' Conference and the Dominicans.
Culture is essential. The capacity to know each other and to face the chapters of history that have, unfortunately, divided Christians. Over the years, this place has become one of the 3 institutes of the Apulian theological faculty, rooted in the region for about 2 decades and bringing together different academic communities, including the Saint Nicholas Institute of Ecumenical and Patristic Theology. And what makes it remarkable is this: it didn't begin as an academic project. It's one of those rare cases where scholarship grew out of lived reality. That is truly extraordinary.
La ricerca accademica è conseguenza di ciò che avviene nella realtà. Questo è veramente straordinario.